This year marks the Centennial of Naval Aviation. We at Northrop Grumman are proud to have played our part in that history. We designed and delivered some of the most successful naval aircraft and ships over the last century, ones that helped achieve victory in World War II and served in times of peace and war through ensuing decades. Today, our support for naval aviation is stronger than ever. We help develop and deliver some of the most important aircraft in the fleet. We also provide the key C4ISR and information systems. And our commitment to lifecycle logistics support keeps the products working as promised. Manned and unmanned, from sea to space through cyberspace, we're providing the technology that helps our Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard achieve success. The successful first flight of the unmanned UCAS demonstrator aircraft will lead to the first carrier landing of an unmanned aerial vehicle. This will be a major milestone in naval aviation, proof of our industry-leading technology. Throughout this year, we'll be honoring the past, celebrating the present, and advancing the future of naval aviation. The U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet uses San Diego as its principal port. It's home to many Navy, Marine, and Coast Guard aviation professionals. It was in San Diego Bay in February 1911 that aviation pioneer Glenn Curtiss taxied his seaplane to the battleship USS Pennsylvania. This was one of the seminal events of naval aviation. That's why Navy Region Southwest and Naval Air Forces chose San Diego to host the Centennial of Naval Aviation kickoff event.
Northrop Grumman is one of the three main sponsors of the event, and we were interested in taking it on because the century of naval aviation has been almost entirely one that we've been in partnership with the Navy. We've built literally tens of thousands of airplanes, and going into the next century, we're designing, building, and now flying the next generation of airplanes that are going to be naval aviation.
The spectrum of what we do as a company is just phenomenal. These platforms that are here represent the physical being of the company and the face to our customer, the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps. The professionalism of these individuals, these men and women, are just phenomenal. It really gives me a great deal of pride to be a part of what they do, to be able to extend their thinking and what they do into the theaters of operation that they go into. They do it right. They know what they want. They know how to work with us and get the best out of us as a company.
Really proud of the legacy that we have. And we like to tell the story during World War II when Admiral McCain, who was Senator McCain's grandfather, made a statement that said that when you see the name Grumman on a part or an aircraft, it means to the Navy what it would mean to see sterling on silver. So we're very proud of that legacy from World War II. We're also very proud of our legacy as we went to the Cold War. The F-14 obviously was famous in movies and so forth, but we have the last F-14 that ever flew on our property in Bethpage is assigned to our employees of our heritage. And the commander of that made a comment that said when he looked down and saw the rudder pedals with Grumman's name, he knew he was coming home safely.
I'm certainly no historian, but I'm aware of the heritage of Grumman, the Grumman Navy. But we like to represent that. Obviously, old school Grumman planes are built tough, and we take a lot of pride in that.
It's all one big team. The Navy does support a lot of the Marine Corps operations shipboard, and the Navy F-18s do support a lot of the Marines on the ground. So we all have the basic mission of supporting the Marine on the ground.
The mix between manned and unmanned, I think, would be a great asset so we can work together. Manned and unmanned should work together so we don't send manned aircraft into the battlefield where there's a hot zone or anything so we don't get shot at. You send the UAV in first, it got a longer loader time and it can go in and picture or survey the area before we send manned vehicles in.
Naval aviation is, I say, the world's greatest team sport. Because you have, the hardware that's delivered to us by America's industrial capabilities in the aerospace industry. We have great trained air crew, and so the tens of thousands of young maintenance personnel are responsible for keeping, over 2,500 Navy and Marine Corps aircraft flying safely.
We're coming up at the 10-year anniversary of 9/11, and that was a very poignant day for me that kind of pulled together my career choice I was horrified by what I saw. I knew exactly what I had to do, and I knew what I had to do for this country, for my family, for every one of us. And that was a cornerstone of who I am and why I do what I do.
With this year's first flight of the Navy's X-47B UCAS and milestones like the first carrier landing of the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, the next century of naval aviation is taking shape. And while the technology may change, the need for America to secure, protect, and operate in the maritime environment will not. The fact is that the mission will always depend not on the machines, but on the brave men and women of naval aviation. All of us at Northrop Grumman salute them for their service and are honored to be their partners.